Welcome to the first edition of Inside the MBL. This is the preseason special where we're going to run down all the teams. This is our panel here.
What's up, guys? My name is Imran Naki from Team Police.
My name is Ahmad from Team 2 Minutes.
My name is Meraz Balut from Team Bardal.
My name is Austin Parachute, also with Team
Alright, so basically for the preseason edition, we're going to go have a rundown of all the teams and do a little analysis of each team. So we'll start with Amy. What team do you got first?
Alright, so I got Team Ubuntu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this team looks okay. I see a lot of faces that, or names that I've never heard before. The only familiar name on here is Zima. He's a veteran, really good player. He brings a lot to the table with his leadership. He's got good shooting. He's always at the gym working on his game, so I mean, we'll see if he's got something new to his.
He always has a bad back too.
That's true.
Yeah, so he is an older player, so maybe injuries may be a concern, especially in the summer season. It's a little bit longer season, so it might be grueling.
See if he can last. But, knowing Zima, I mean, he wouldn't play for just any team, so.
Actually, he would. What are you talking about?
I'm not counting the first season.
Well, I think that
the last couple of teams he has been playing with.
No, last year he's on a good team, right?
Yeah,
no, but I think
before that.
I think Zima is actually the GM of this team.
Yeah.
So
okay, so he put this together.
Him and Jonathan Walker are GMs. John's not playing.
Okay, I mean, when I talked to Zima about his team, he said that his team had a lot of young guys on it. So I think it's a team full of rookies. So we don't know what to expect, so I can't make a fair assessment on this team right now.
But I mean, Zima's always been in one of the leaders in points, so he's always been an MVP consideration also. So I mean, I think any team with him on it, they'll compete.
I mean, plus, since he's a GM, I'm sure he's picking guys that will compliment him around him, or even take some just pressure off him on offense.
So I commented him. It's all players that just pass him the ball and.
That's quite
Well, let's do all vote if it's a pretender or a contender. So thumbs up for a contender, thumbs down for pretender. All right, let's go.
It's like sad.
We have three pretenders. Ahmad is on the fence with them.
Or just because
you don't know too many.
I don't know any besides Zima.
Exactly. I don't know too many. I don't know the other players, but
there's a Zima on this team, right?
Oh yeah.
You guys know Zima?
but yeah, no. I don't know if they have the depth to contend with some of the other teams at the end of the day. So that's why I had him as a pretender. But who knows? They may surprise us too. All right, let's go to the next team.
The next team I have is ICH. I played a couple of times with these fellas. Guys like Osama, Jobber, and I can't recognize a couple of their names, but I heard Judd.
I think his name's Judd.
Judd, he's balling.
He's balling out of control. That's the same guy from the NMBT tournament. Really good.
Yeah, I mean, and this is pretty much their team that won the NBMT tournament,
yeah,
so they're definitely on everyone's radar, especially after that performance. And the ICH is typically a team that has really good chemistry.
I agree.
You know, I mean, I think a lot of people see their team and they might underestimate them, but we've played them past 3 seasons and they've always given us fits.
I agree. Well, the thing about ICH is I feel like this year they lost their nucleus. I mean, Farhad's on a different team, so it's going to be interesting to see if their style of play is different too. Without it.
But they have some, I mean, I recognize some of the names. I played actually with them at their training grounds out there in Hawthorne, and some of the guys that they're bringing in, they're really solid. They can drop the outside jump shot, and they're athletic young guys. So they could be the surprise of the league. All right, let's do a pretender-contender. Ahmad's giving you the different looks like usual. Let's do a pretender-contender analysis. Alright, there's 3 contenders and 1 pretender. Asif, what do you say to the pretender?
It's because you say that boy can just come last one, right?
No, that's Farhad Zawanda.
Okay. So Farhad's on this team, so I think Farhad is the one that, like, you know.
So Farhad.
He's their team. He's their MVP candidate every season, and he just switched to another team, so I don't think they're.
So without Farhad, you think it?
Okay. Out, yeah.
Alright, and what's going on over here?
We're talking about
his tattoo over here.
Who's tattoo?
Ahmad's tattoo over here.
We are talking about it for the people of NBL.
No, it's not allowed in NBL.
Right, and as you may not know, this edition of Inside the NBL is in an official capacity, so we're going to try to keep things as kosher or as halal as possible. Okay, so the next team on our list is Benchmark Pinkies. They've been around the MBL for some time now. Returning onto the team is Kia after his short stint with Public Enemy. And Kia has always been an MVP candidate. The thing is, with Benchmark Pinkies, they always have a solid team, but I don't feel like they ever can get over the hump. I think they started last year in summer season with like 2 victories in a row, and then I think they lost the next 8. So they have a strong a strong backcourt with Kia, but I don't know if the other players are at the point where they can get past them with other teams. But Bench Mob has always been, I remember playing them last year. They definitely put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, they just didn't have enough firepower to supplement Kia. What do you guys have to say about Bench Mob?
I think this year looking at the roster, it looks like it's pretty strong this year. I mean, I see a lot of guys from their old Benchmark Pinkies team, like Kenny. So, depending on the additions that they got this year.
They picked up Ubin from ICH. Which
they got ICH.
Yeah, so he's a solid guard too. He was one of ICH's main weapons as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this might be the year that they go.
I definitely see them as a playoff team this year.
Alright, so pretender or contender? Alright. We have 2 contenders with Imran and Ahmad. I'm on the fence with them right now. I still like to see them a little bit more, and Asif has them as a pretender. All right, let's go to the next team.
My team is the team I'm talking about is Primetime. Always a playoff team. This year it looks like it's a well put together team. It balances defensively and offensively. Zach Fahimi is one name to mention. Also Bilal Emergy. Defensively, they have Noah. He's always a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Does everything across the board. And I see this team as a playoff team.
Yeah, I think they have Shakur also. So
another defensive.
He's another good defensive player. So Shakur, Noah, Zach,
and also Yusuf Abubakar, who played at Dahad. So 5 guys that pretty good.
Yeah, the thing is,
mostly all guards.
Yeah, that's one thing that was standing out to me right now, just listening to the roster. They have a lot of guards. I don't know what big man they have. Does anybody have an idea?
But D2, you don't need a big man.
That's true. But I mean, the only successful small teams that I've seen are like ICH, and that's about it.
Yeah,
this year you guys are like the next smallest team.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could be able to pull that off without a leader on that team. Do they have Bilal Emergy?
Yeah,
they do.
Bilal,
yeah,
he's definitely going to be their go-to guy. Yeah. And but the thing is, I don't know. Zach is a volume shooter. I think Zach's a great player, but he needs the ball in his hands as well. But
most of their guys need the ball.
So the thing is, if Zach is taking the majority of the shots, Boomergy is not going to be as effective. Because Boomergy, I think he's probably their best player.
Yeah.
He should be shooting majority of their shots, in my opinion. But I don't know with Zach in the lineup if they complement each other as well.
Yeah.
I think what Boomergy needs is a distributing point guard.
I agree.
But
one negative thing I saw about that team is that they're not deep. Like after the first 5, it's a major drop off. So I mean, I don't know if that team would last if a guy gets in foul trouble, or you never know.
Yeah, their bench consists of Bilal Lafata and also Subby.
Okay.
You all know how Subby plays. So.
Subby's the enforcer of the league.
I'm pretty sure teams will expose those guys.
But before we get to the bench, they definitely have a strong core of guards with Shakur, Zach, and Noah. That's definitely a good lineup of defensive guards. All right, let's go down to the next team. Oh wait, let's do the pretender contender. Pretender or contender. All right, we are split down the middle. We have 2 pretenders, 2 contenders. Ahmad, why do you think they're a contender?
Oh, just because they do have a lot of guard play, and in D2, that's all you need. And then they have shooters as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Zach and Bilal will be able to carry this team no matter. I mean, even if you have Subby and Bilal, and it's not like Bilal can't shoot.
Yeah.
He can shoot. Subby has a great D, or whenever you need him to injure somebody, he'll be there for you.
All right, on to the next team. Imran, what do you got?
All right, I have CVIC. So again, another team that I don't really recognize as players. The only familiar name on here is Fahim Dayala, formerly from ICH. I mean, he's a good big man, especially in D2 where it's watered down quite a bit. There's not many big guys in this division. I still think that he needs a lot of people around him to make this team a good team. So, to be honest, I've never heard of these names. If they played in MBL before, I mean, I don't think they're standout players, so I don't think this team will go far.
Yeah, I looked at their roster, just like you, I didn't recognize a lot of the names, but Fahim Diallo definitely stood out. And I'm not sure, rumors, I'm hearing that he's slimmed down, so I don't know if he's as big as he was before. But when thinking about his previous condition, he was definitely a big man.
Yeah.
I had to guard him down in the post, and he's definitely a handful,
Big
just
guy.
because of the size, you know. So I think that team is just going to go as far as he can take them,
I
but
agree.
I don't think they have enough weapons.
I'm curious, is his son still on the team, or is his son on the team or not?
Oh,
Gurm Jazz, yes. I believe Gurm's on a different team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I believe Fahim's last name was his nickname was Fahim Gurm Jazz's dad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So pretender, contender, guys. We have 3 contenders and a bottom. Yeah. All right, Ahmad, who's your next team?
Coconuts. This team, I know actually a couple of guys. Yusuf Khan created the team. He could be the next Samir Mulvey. You have great guards like Nassim Malik. You have Atif. I forget his last name, but he's a great shooter. And that's all I know. But besides that, they have guards, not too many bigs from what it looks like. And to be honest, I don't know how they'll play out.
Yeah, Coconuts is an intriguing team. It seems more like a team of friends that are just out there to have fun together, and that's exactly what we encourage. You know, I mean, that's
what Blaze was.
exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, to be able to play in a league with friends, that's what MBL should be all about. As long as you're having fun, you know, exactly like what Blaze was a team of friends that happened to be really good. Why not, you know? But we wanted to talk about that subject right now. But Coconuts, you know, Yusuf is definitely. He's an unorthodox player. I don't know if there are a lot of people may not know how he plays, but when you watch him, he definitely has a unique style. But it works for him. He has different ways of shooting. It's not something that you teach. You don't want to teach a player to shoot like that, but he makes it though. So that's what's really important. But Yusuf is definitely a good player, and again, that team's going to go as far as he takes.
I like their guard play because Nabil, he's a good guard. Wasim, another good guard.
Yeah,
With Yusuf, he's really quick too. Like Yusuf and Wasim are really fast guards, so it's gonna be tough to chase after these guys.
And I know for week 1, they're going to be missing a lot of players, so they may have to start off the season with a loss, because I think they're only going to have 4 guys the first game. But that's one of the benefits of having a 10-game schedule. You can bounce back. You don't have to fall. I mean, every game is not as important. I mean, of course it is, but they can bounce back. But pretender, contender, guys. And we have 4 pretenders. You know, hopefully they can just
Prove us wrong.
Yeah, prove us wrong. But they just need some size, and they have a lot of guard play, but they need help around Yusuf. So that's what I. All right, the next team I have is Outlaws. This is one of the teams. I feel like I know a lot of the teams on here, but this is one of the teams that I don't know too much about. One name that stood out is a Rookie of the Year candidate, Mir Ali. He's always been a solid player in pickup. But I think he's making his debut in MBL if I'm not mistaken. But some of the other guys, I just don't know who they are. There's a Hussein and Hassan Yassin. I don't know if anybody knows those guys. I feel like there's a couple of brother tandems on there. But as far as this team goes, I can't speak too much about them. But Mir, he's a solid player. And my one criticism about him that I have is once he gets the ball, he goes straight to the hoop without looking, without looking to create for his team or find open man. Because he can drive really aggressively, but that's when defenses collapse on you. And Ahmad, he's made a career out of that. Once he drives in and people collapse on him, he finds open men. That's why he's MBL's all-time leading assist guy in D2. Shout out to you. But yeah, so Mir has the potential to do that type of thing as well. But I think that's where he's going to see improvement in his game once he learns how to do that. So pretender, contender, guys. We have 4 pretenders. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have a different analysis of them, and we'll probably look at all the teams midway through the season, and once we see these teams a little bit more. So okay, next team.
Next team is Blue Mist. GMs are Oscar Hussein and Zephyr making his MBL return. So yeah, the other guys, we play ball, like pick up ball with them. Decent players.
Are they coaching or are they playing? Yeah.
I think on this team they might be playing.
Okay.
Zuffer usually, usually makes teams that are
Yeah.
like way better than him. He sits on the bench, but
I think that's in
he's
D1.
no, he also in D2 though.
And he's played in D2.
AK dude.
Last season, what was it? Oh, last season was
D2, right?
No, but he's played in D2 before.
No, he has.
Yeah, we played against him, right? No,
Yeah.
He doesn't play much, but I think on this team he'll be playing like majority.
Who's on their team? Who's on their team?
It's
I think he's definitely playing this year.
Adarch, Drama.
Drama.
You got Ibrahim Abbas
And
Jabber.
going back to Zuffer, I'm surprised he doesn't play more because he's solid.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah, like we've been playing pickup lately, and Zuffer's been playing really well, and I don't understand why he doesn't play more. Like he's probably on one of the better guys that come out to play. So Zuffer, this is
Oh, maybe isn't he moved? Isn't he San Francisco or San Fran?
He's back here.
no, he's
Oh.
back here. Yeah, but Zuffer, this is my challenge to you. Let's put up some big numbers because I know you're more than capable of doing it. Yeah, Blue Mist is an interesting team. Now, do you know who the GM for this team is? Is it Asif Hussein?
I think it's like a
Also saying-
combination, maybe.
Yeah, probably combination.
Okay. All right, guys. Pretender or contender? We have 3 pretenders, and Ahmad is on the fence. Ahmad, why are you on the fence?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, besides those two guys, I don't know anybody else. I mean, actually, I do know Jabber.
Yeah.
And who else
Actually, I
was
think
it?
you know a lot of the guys on the
Who
team.
else was it?
Drama, Zarani.
You know Ibrahim. You
Is there
play.
new-
Actually, you play with everybody on the team.
I'm just trying to be nice.
Okay, no worries. You know, who knows? Maybe they'll
Yeah,
come together.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, Imran, who's your next team?
Next team is Too Nice. Former champions of last summer. Looks like they've done a little bit of shifting on this team. Everyone's already probably figured that out. They acquired Ahmad. Asif's departed. And it looks like...
There's a trade.
Yeah, there's a couple new faces on here. Bilal isn't Bilal Mukhlis?
Yeah, both.
Okay, I mean, there's some drop-offs on this team, but a lot of good stuff on it. Like, the guard play is probably the best guard play in the entire league. No knock on you guys, but this guard, I mean, your backcourt's like a D1 backcourt. I think that, with Diego and Joaquin running, those guys are going to be the points. You're probably going to play small forward, my brother at the power forward, Amir at center. The only negative here is probably if you face like a really physical big team that sets up their offense and runs like a half-court offense. I think that you guys might encounter some problems, but in D2, I mean, no, I don't really see teams doing that. So, I mean, to be honest, I see this as the front runner for maybe a repeat for the summer as champions. So we'll see.
I'm going to have to agree with that completely. I did an analysis on every team in D2, and Too Nice has come out as the #1. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not based on chemistry or anything, it's just based on pure talent. I would say Too Nice has the best talent, which is fine in my opinion. I mean, there's always going to be one team that's going to be the best. That's no way to avoid that. But with picking up Ahmad was a huge part of Ravage. He's probably one of our main go-to guys, so that's definitely going to help Too Nice.
The main thing about this team is that they do have a lot of superstars on this team, but they're all experienced guards. Like, they're guards that are smart. They're not going to ball out.
Exactly. So that's why they're definitely, in my opinion, they're the team to beat. They're my preseason pick to win it all again. So pretender or contender, guys?
Before we switch, I'm curious to hear what Asif has to say about his departure of Too Nice, the organization that he founded, pretty much. I know he's going to take credit for it.
No, I didn't found it.
Really?
Actually, my brother did.
Your brother did?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're learning about the Too Nice history right now.
It's sad to leave, but I mean, you just gotta do it. Gotta, better opportunities. Make a name for myself. It's kind of selfish, but I mean, I already won a championship, and I'm looking to win it with Rose. We actually played some live before. And one thing I like to say is Joaquin, one of the funnest players to play with. Baller, everyone knows him.
Yeah, he's sick.
And also Diego, shout out to him. Looking for him to be a MVP candidate once again.
Yeah. No, Too Nice is talent top to bottom. The thing is, Asif would have played a limited role on that team. I think it worked out for him. I don't think it's so much of a selfish move. It's just an opportunity for Asif to improve as a player in the league as well. Because, I mean, look at that team. They're such a stacked team, especially at the guard position.
I think they should keep 7 players.
especially at the guard position, which is where Asif was at. I mean, he'd be playing behind MVP candidates in Diego, Joaquin, Ahmad, you know. So I mean, I think it was a good situation for all teams involved. So yeah. All right, next.
I'm just trying to chase my third championship. That's all I'm doing.
All right, next team, Ahmad.
Next team I have Ittihad. Ittihad has been, I actually got my start with Ittihad a long time ago.
Oh, it's a lot of issue right here.
Yes.
Got anger there?
A lot of anger. Didn't get much play at all.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You, Mr. MVP candidate, didn't get much play with Ittihad? Are you serious?
I was behind a lot of these cats on this team right here.
Okay, I have to start up some controversy right now just because
Yeah.
you're bringing that up. After I pick you up on plays, all of a sudden I get scrutinized for that when you had already played in this league on a team, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that's just messed up right there. I have to bring that up right there. And also McKeel played too. He just wasn't involved. So I mean,
As the moderator for
can't
this
blame
panel.
me. Can't blame me.
You know, Blaze was a great team. You guys are in the history books as champions. So let's just move forward now.
But we're going on. Camille's a great player. Isa's a great big for D2. Sully's a great player. Zayd out boy shooting. Jeff Kennard, he's come back from a knee injury, but we've been playing with him for the past couple of weeks. He's not 100%, but he's right there. Samir Mulvey, Zohaib Mulvey, and Feroz. Yeah, all great players. And I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to go all the way, but I think this is a pretty solid squad, especially picking up Zayd Dadabo back here.
That's a good analysis. You know, I think one of the biggest things that Ittihad was lacking was that go-to offensive player. Especially last season, they were playing without Jeff because of that knee injury. So now they picked up Zayd Dadabo, who, as we all know, is a great shooter. He's actually the MBL's all-time leader in D2 for points scored. So he's in an exclusive club, and he also is in an exclusive club of the 1000 TSP Plus, which has 3 members right here. We have a group of 8. Awesome. One day you'll get there, don't you worry. But yeah, Zayd Dadabo is a great pickup for them. Because the thing is, Ittihad has always been a great defensive team. Feroz is definitely one of the, is a great feisty defender. He's giving Ahmad a lot of trouble because Ahmad's really loose with the ball. Here's a little scouting report for Ahmad. Pressure him as much as you can. He's not on my team anymore.
Hey, you like that though. You like when people play you up close.
Yeah. So I've been doing my left game right.
It's a bad situation. Feroz is definitely a great defender. He's I've been doing some research as far as all-time leaders. He's also one of the all-time leaders in steals. He is all-time leader in steals in D2, and also the all-time leader in fouls.
Hey, but to be honest, I had Ittihad before the brackets were out. I had Ittihad like going to the finals against Two Nights, but it was unfortunate that they're on the same bracket.
Yeah, I think they have such a. I mean, as Ahmad was mentioning their roster, they have such a great squad right now. Komeo, Jeff, and Zayd. With that type, I mean, we all know Kamel's a great defender. Zayd is his offensive shooting, and the thing is, that's what Jeff needed actually. Somebody to spread, open up the court for them. And then you have Samir, who I'm a big fan of his game. He actually plays really well on my team. So I was trying to lure him away from Ittihad, but he didn't make the jump. But yeah, I think they have a great squad.
I think for them to be actual contenders is Feroz needs to step up his game. He steps up and pick up ball, but that doesn't translate to MBL game. We see how he tears us apart in the pickup games, but he should translate to the MBL also.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see a resurgence of Sully. He's actually, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but he's no longer an admin with MBL. So as we all know, when Amr Saeed stopped being an MBL, his game soared to new limits because he no longer had that pressure. You know, when you're an MBL admin, you kind of think about what you have to do as your duties, but now Sully, he's no longer an admin, so hopefully we see some bigger numbers from him this year too. All right, so pretender or contender, guys? 4 contenders all around, so yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens with these guys this season. All right, next team we have is Your Worst Nightmare. Looking at this roster, it looks like a lot of the 741 takeover guys. Benji Pepik, Amjad, Omar Kaza. I don't know a lot of these guys, but Remy, do you know some of these names?
Just if it's the same guys from their D1 team last season, then that's a good team. But Benji, I don't think he's played in MBL for a few seasons now.
Okay, yes.
But he's a solid defender.
Yeah, I mean, if it's those guys, they did some work in D1. And I don't know if Ryan Tank is going to be on the
that's
roster.
right. That's right.
The thing is, there's some question marks as far as what their final roster is going to be, but as press release goes, we're just going to go by what we have on paper. But yeah, they can do some damage, but it all depends on what their final roster is going to look like. But they have some pieces, and they play well together. They're all friends, so chemistry can go far away too. So pretender or contender, guys? We have 2 pretenders and 2 guys on defense. I think we just need to see them play a little bit more before we have a good footing as to what they're about. All right, next team.
The next team is Public Enemy. It's another team put together by Omar Ashraf. Kevin Wilson, always MVP candidate. Tallest player in MBL. There's some controversy about him being dropped because of his height, but
How tall is he?
it's like 6'4", 6'5".
I think he's listed at 6'3".
But isn't the cap at 6'2"?
No, the cap is at 6'3",
Uh-huh.
6'3" and under, and I believe he's listed at 6'3". Now,
Why can't also the field play?
you know,
I was told that he's won too many accolades in D2. So we can't play.
well, Asif Vakil. Well, the thing is, as far as Asif Vakil goes, now's not the place nor the time for that conversation. I'm a friend of Asif Vakil's. I'm actually advocating for his return in D2, not just necessarily so I can pick him up. Just he's a friend of ours. We want him to play. So of course we want Asif Vakil to come back in D2, and especially.
Thank God you're not 6'2", man.
Well, Asif Vakil, that's a whole different story. But Asif Vakil, we'd love to have you back in there. Hopefully one day we'll see you back in D2. But back to Public Enemy.
Well, anyway, back to Kevin. Always a clear advantage with him offensively. Post up. Well, he's not really a post up player, but he can kick to the basket because he's taller than almost everyone, and he's really quick too. This team is, I believe they were the favorite last season, and they ended up losing
In the first round.
in the first round. Yeah, so that was a big upset.
They had an undefeated season last season, and they had a first round upset against ICH.
Oh, Public Enemy, right?
Yes.
Oh.
That was a big game.
There's also a few new faces that came from what's
The Chief Sob?
Yeah, Chief Sob. There's a few faces from their team and Public Enemy they put together. They lost Kia and another player, Hussein, I think.
Hussein Sattar, who joined the Garbage.
Yeah. So this team is pretty good defensively, I would say. Not too much offense, but defensively they'll be there.
Mukim is on the team too. He was a candidate for most improved last year. So, I mean, especially look to see him try to step into that role of Kia. I mean, of course, Kia has big shoes to fill, but Mukim has an opportunity to do some work. And they also have Wagel, who is in a great new shape. I don't know if you guys have seen his updated picture or
Facebook, right?
on Facebook. Yeah, so Wagel looks like he's.
Didn't he get hurt? Somebody got hurt.
Oh no, he did roll his ankle or something.
Yeah, I think there wasn't a report of injury, but then I believe he should be ready by the start of the season.
Oh,
Yeah, so they're a good team. Amar Ashraf always has a way of putting together solid teams. So he's one of the premier GMs in the league. So we'll see how they do. I mean, of course they want to have some revenge from that early first round exit that they had last season. So they're definitely a solid team. I think they're going to be up there in the playoffs. So pretender or contender, guys?
Actually, no. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have 3 contenders. And Ahmad, do you want to explain where you went from?
Because they're nowhere close to what team they were last year.
Okay.
I mean, no hit on their point guard, Hakeem, but he's nowhere close to what Kia.
Yeah.
Because Kia's a lot offensive first, Reed, driving and everything else.
Exactly.
I mean, I think right now it falls on Kellen Wilson's hands, and besides him, I don't think there'll be much anybody else could be on that same level of play.
That's true. I mean, no, that's definitely true.
And then, do you guys feel like they can contend with the top?
I think they'll make playoffs.
Uh-huh.
I don't know I know they'll make playoffs, and anything can happen in playoffs.
Yeah.
But now I don't know if they'll be able to compete with, like, say, a 2-nice or an elite in the championship game. But I definitely think they're a playoff team. So I mean, that's kind of the level that I'm holding a contender to if they're going to make playoffs. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that point. Kia, I mean, there's not a lot of players that can fulfill Kia's role, so that's a huge loss. But maybe this is the season Omar Ashraf steps in. But we'll see how that goes. Okay. The next team we have. Yeah, it's on you.
Garbage. So this team, Murrow's always puts together pretty decent teams every year. I like what I see here, with the exception of maybe a couple players being thrown in like a playoff environment. I don't think they would do that well. But at the same time, knowing you'll probably throw out like different lineups into the game to adjust. So I mean, I like this team. You guys have a lot of experienced players here. A little lack of scoring. I see maybe you and David Tran as the main primary scorers. Carlos is good, but I see him more as a defensive defender like Austin. He has similar games as Austin. Sean Mullick, another good rebounder there. So I mean, and then Omer Mimman, you guys have him. He's a good offensive-minded player, so he might contribute a little bit on the offensive end too. Yeah, it's a good team from start to finish here, but I don't see you guys getting to the finals, but maybe like a Elite Eight or maybe in the Final Four at the furthest. No, nothing.
Oh no, we definitely don't. There's a reason why we transitioned from Ravage to Garbage.
Oh, and you acquired.
And I like to pick the team names that reflect our team personnel. You know.
So I want to pose a question to Asif. I mean, hands down, you're a great defender, stuff like that. But obviously this team needs offense, right? What do you plan on doing with that?
I don't know if you guys have been noticing lately, I've been expanding my game. I'm actually starting to shoot a lot more.
Oh my god!
And you've been hitting well.
It might be a bad thing, but I mean, I've been
no, you've been hitting well.
I
say you should shoot a lot more.
I say you take like most of the shots.
And I'm going to inquire to MBL as far as if I can make any roster adjustments. No, the thing is, if anybody who's played on my team, they know they have a green light. I would never tell Asif. I mean, as long as you're taking good shots.
Well, I forgot to highlight that Asif is returning to your team because he did play with you in your Savage.
The thing is, I'm actually really excited about the Asif pickup for our team. I think Asif's a great player, and I feel like he hasn't received the league-wide recognition that he deserves or that he's capable of. Just talking about our team as a whole, we lost a big part of our team. We lost Ahmad, who was one of our go-to guys. We lost Faraz Malik, who was actually our leading scorer. We lost Irfan Anwar, who was the most improved player that was on while he was with his reign with Ravage, and we also lost Rizwan. So there's a huge hole there, but I feel like with the players that we picked up, Asif, Hussein Sadar, they're going to be able to pick up. And D-Tran is a good scorer, but I'm excited about the team. I definitely don't think we're at the same level as one of the top teams out there, but I think we'll give them some trouble. And I mean, at the end of the day, I want us all to have fun. So I'm looking forward to this season. Also, what do you have to say about Team Garbage? Besides talking about your new shooting that you've discovered.
Well, sort of back to that. I'm not looking to fill in their shoes. They're obviously tremendous players. A lot better than me. I'm just looking to have some fun and contribute to hopefully winning.
Well, you should focus on shooting though. That's what I suggest. Just focus on shooting. Forget everything else.
Yeah. And with that note, I sub people out as much as I. Okay, so pretender or contender, guys. No problem. We have two contenders by the two players on Garbage. Ahmad is on the fence, and Imi is saying we're a pretender, which is fine.
It's not really pretending because I play with you guys.
No, that's fine.
And the only reason I say I'm on the fence is it's going to be your offense. Your defense is there.
Yeah, it's the only hole.
I mean, you two, Carlos, David, Sean, defense is there. There's no problems. You guys will stop anybody, guard, play, or big.
For sure.
And you guys are actually a bigger team than a lot of people. But besides you, I mean, you're going to get yours. David, he can get his, but sometimes plays timid. Carlos hasn't played that much with.
Sean refuses to take a shot, even if he's open for a layup.
No.
Umer Maimin, he might clean up and get you guys a couple. I'm looking at my shit like I have your roster. I was like, I'm looking down there, like, we're
No.
Like Hussein, he could shoot threes, but he could play timid. Zan, defense, but plays timid.
Yeah.
No,
definitely. I agree with everything you're saying. So it's not like I don't know that. Yeah. No, you guys are right. So, but at the end of the day,
the world.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go out there and try to shock the world. I mean, there's a reason why our team name is Garbage. And the thing is, that's actually one of the reasons why I chose the name Garbage. I mean, because we
I was
wanted.
like, I don't know about this anymore.
I made a huge mistake.
No, because we relish the underdog role, and you know that's what we're going in with the mentality every season. We're the underdogs. We're team garbage versus elite. You know, so that'll be that'll be fun. But yeah, on to the next team. Ahmad, who's your next team?
The next team I have is Tribe, which includes Fraz Ahmed, big man of D2, Fraz Malik, leading scorer of last. All the.
No, just our team.
Just our team. But yeah, great play. Saad Ahmed, Fraz's younger brother. He's not as big as Fraz because Fraz eats food probably. Sahil, I'm assuming he's
a point guard.
Old 2 nice point guard.
Old insane point guard.
Insane point guard, yeah. Bella, don't know him. Usman Ahmed, don't know him. You, big man in D2.
MVP candidate.
And now I don't know. And Murtaza, I do not know.
Wait, one thing. Wasn't Dalla the one that hit the game winner on you guys?
That
was a lucky shot?
Yeah, that one that curved all the way. That was against Team Forever 21.
Okay.
That's correct. And he was also guarding me as I was trying to tie the game. And he claims that he blocked me, but it was a clear foul on my wrist. And
wait, did they call it though? Or?
They didn't call it, but you know, they're not gonna call it in those episodes.
I just remember the celebration. It was like the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, it was exactly that.
It was like they never won a game in their lives.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's a different team though. That's not even Tribe.
So is that winning that year?
No. Are you talking about Tribe? Or
no, the team that beat it.
Forever 21?
Yeah.
No, they
We
didn't.
ended up that year, right? No.
That was the year. I think.
No, that was Fast and Live.
Oh, okay.
That was winter 2000.
No, we won that year.
You went in the championship game against Fast and Live where you guys lost. You guys won some.
You guys lost.
Yeah,
Don's my team too.
Wait, True Grit, they didn't even make playoffs that year, right? Or they were bounced out in the first round, maybe?
I don't know. It wasn't something memorable. Obviously, we don't remember it. So.
I was going to talk about Tribe. I was hoping that.
There's a ton of. Feel free to jump in.
I think that. I mean, it surprised me, I guess, when they got registered on this thing, because their roster was almost identical as last summer's, and a team to go basically 9-0. I'm not counting their first loss because that was against a team that had to kick off their center anyways. For a team to go 9-0 and then go so far in the playoffs, and if my Tufan team hadn't swept them in the playoffs, that team would have gone all the way easily. So, to be honest, roster-wise, this team is pretty stacked. They haven't made any changes. I see addition of Murtaza,
but I mean, on that note, they did get swept. So
they did.
It's not like
my team was also extremely.
Your team was solid too.
Compared to this team.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, don't get me wrong, Tribe, I would say they're a top 3 team right now. They're actually the number 3 team that I have rated. They're definitely one of the top teams, but I don't think they're.
You don't think they're
they're good. They have a great chance to win the championship, but I don't think
they're the deepest team.
I don't think they need to make any changes. But the thing is, I'm in a different mindset. I like those teams that are stacked. Like when you guys had Blaze, you guys were good. I was looking forward to playing you guys, even though you guys killed us. It's fun to try to beat the better teams, But Tribe,
I just think that compared to the other teams that made their changes, I would have liked to see the team make a change too.
Had they swept you guys and they went into the championship game and then they swept that championship game, then I could see, hey, they need to make some changes. But if they got swept, I don't think they need to make any changes, I mean, they're a good team, but
they didn't have Sahil, did they?
They had Sahil. Yeah. But they're definitely a good team, especially Fraz Malik. I mean, just looking at their first 5, Ayub is an MVP guy. Fraz Ahmed is the second leading all-time block shots. He's going to appreciate that shout out. He's trying to catch Asif Akil, but Asif Akil is no longer in D2, so he's bound to happen. Fraz Malik, who's the leading scorer. Sohail, which is definitely a great defensive point guard.
Dalha is really underrated.
And Dalha is
really
a solid shooting guard. He's definitely not a big man, but he's a shooting guard. But they have a solid 5 lineup. I don't think I got a chance to watch the game that they played against you guys when they got swept. But I don't know exactly what their faults are. But they're a good team though. So pretender, contender, guys. 4 contenders all around. All right, next team we have is Family First. This is a team obviously comprised of family members. Leading the way is Nihad. Nihad and Saud, who is from the Ittihad fame. He's leaving Ittihad to go back with his family, and making his debut in MBL is Ruman. So the thing is, this team has some talent, but with any team with family, there's going to be some fighting and bickering. And I remember playing with these guys before. They're a good team, but because they're family, they sometimes go at each other. They don't have that, communication that other teams may have. But Nihad has more than capable of putting up 20 to 30 points a game. So this might be interesting to see him play without the shackles of Chief Saab on him. So what do you guys think about this team?
I think that they're too new to the scene for MBL to be successful right away. They have a lot of young guys too that are Nihad's cousins and stuff that will take some time to develop and get used to like the aggressiveness. Like G2 is a lot of feisty players in this league. So I mean, I don't see them doing that well. I think Nihad will try to carry him, but the consistency is gonna not be there. So
yeah, and one thing about transitioning to league play that a lot of pickup players don't realize is there are different nuances that the refs call, like traveling. I think they're gonna get hit with a lot of traveling calls.
Basic stuff like 3 in the key.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, they're gonna learn that with experience. But like you said, they're a young team, so maybe they won't. There's gonna be a learning curve. And on that note, traveling call, if any refs are watching, look for this guy.
He's a Ramon.
Ahmad.
My brother too, when he sets up for his 3-pointer.
Yeah, Ahmad likes to do a little hop every time. Had he been on my team, I wouldn't have put this on there. Okay, but yeah, back to
I think it's really going to depend on Ruman. I played with him once or twice a week. It's not Levy, but at 24, and he has been playing amazing. And I really think he's gonna try to take the #1 spot from Nihad on this team, and that's where it might work out for them, or it might backfire.
And the thing is, Ruman has increased his play. We've been playing some impromptu jungle ball tournaments, and he actually received the MVP. He actually received MVP of one of the tournaments. So as long as he keeps his head in the game and plays team ball, I think he can be a great asset for this team. So, pretender, contender, guys. All right, we have 4 pretenders. I think that's just generally because they're a young team, new to the league.
They'll make playoffs, but I don't think they'll be able to contend with some of the better teams.
I think this team is lacking a point guard to really just shoot the ball. They have great offensive players in Saud and Nihad, and also Ramon, who's increases shooting capabilities. So it's a really good point guard to just shoot the ball.
And they have some question marks on the roster like that. I don't know who this Dominique Thompson is, but I mean, yeah, but that's a good point though. I don't know who would be running point. Probably Nihad take the vote.
Yeah.
All right,
or Ramon can play point. Ramon play point.
All right, on to the next team.
Next team is Pam City. I'm not too sure what this Pam means, probably the spray or what else they're referring to, but that's their team name. They have a great player in Jamal Nawaz who runs Jungle Ball, right?
Yeah.
I've heard talks about him. I didn't show up when he came, but I heard he's a great player. And also Zayd Ismail making his return. Really dominant post player.
What happened here?
Sorry, I'm totally kidding.
No, I played with Zayd the other day. He was posting me up like crazy.
Did he score though?
He scored, yeah. He scored we were playing 3-on-3. And he has this nice little move.
Yeah.
He has this nice little move where he does a quick turnaround hook shot, and he was dropping it. So he looks good basketball shape.
Well, yeah. Anyways, Jamal, I guess he's their biggest player on the team. Looked to score inside, and spread the floor with Umair and Hamza Ashraf, both really good shooters. So yeah, new team, but I don't see them doing too much.
Yeah,
just out there having fun.
Yeah, this is pretty much a lot of the carryovers guys from Out of Control players, and they're a young team, and they may surprise some people if their 3-point shooting's on. That's just been the story with main event Out of Control players in now Pam City. If their 3-point shooting is on, I would say don't sleep on them. They can upset some teams out there. I think Too Nice a year ago almost received an upset from them, right? Was that? You guys almost lost to main event.
No, it was just Hamza Ashraf crossed up my brother really bad.
No, remember that was the one that Armand stepped over and then
Diego.
Diego Diego hit the game winner, but you guys almost lost to them too.
We did almost lose to them, yes.
And that was the year you guys won the championship.
Yeah.
So that goes to show they have some talent on that in their camp. But yeah, so pretender or contender, guys. So we have 4 pretenders. All right, on to the next team. Maybe who do you got?
KFN. Looks like this is a returning team, mostly the same players. I see some familiar faces, familiar names on here. I don't see them as a team that's going to make the playoffs, unfortunately. I think one of their guys is that really athletic guard that they had. He's pretty good at. I thought he'd make his way to a different team that's contending for championship.
And by different team, did you mean one of your teams?
Like one of my teams. I never extended an invitation, but
I don't even
maybe in the future.
I know you were high on one of those players. I
Yeah,
which one.
I remember too. It was about I think it was last year, right?
Number 47.
Yeah, that
guy
guy
with the mini fro.
Yeah,
He gets up.
that guy's not bad. I'm surprised he didn't. I'm sure he got invited by a lot of teams. Surprised he didn't take any offers up.
There's a lot that can be said about loyalty. Ahmad, I'm just joking.
So I mean, I see this team, just as a team that's in it to play with their friends, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they can pull off some upsets, but don't have anyone far.
All right. They're a good team. They have a lot of young guys, like you mentioned. There's some athletic guys on the squad, but again, I think they struggled a couple seasons ago, and there were some close games.
Yeah.
Actually, when we played them as Rivage a year ago, I wasn't at that game, but I remember it was pretty close. I remember you guys telling me that you guys almost lost it.
Yeah, without Ahmad,
Ahmad actually
or something like that.
Do you remember that game? That was a game I wasn't there. We won. But we almost lost that game. But I wasn't there though.
Oh, little guy. What's the little guy?
Yeah. So I mean, let the record reflect. I wasn't at that game. Okay, so pretender or contender, guys.
I don't remember. I
I
vaguely remember.
we have 3 pretenders and 1 on the fence. Alright, Ahmad, who's the next team you got?
The next team I have is Masai. And the only name I can recognize is Mark Clough on this team. That being said, I have no idea who the freak these guys are.
Yeah, I remember.
Some of the guys are familiar, like Gordon Jacobs, he's back. He was that lanky guy at the center position. He's really athletic.
They lost Zaydad.
Ronnie Ware, he's not bad. Yeah, they lost Zaydad. But maybe that might have helped them because, Ahmad Clough is one of those players that a team will build around. So he's young, he's constantly improving his game, I'm sure. So it'll be interesting to see how he carries his team this time around, being the only guy on the team.
Yeah, Ahmad Clough is definitely a solid player. He's probably one of the up-and-coming stars in the league. He didn't play in winter this past season, correct?
No,
I don't
think he did. No, wait, no, he did.
I thought that.
He did.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
I was surprised that he didn't take up just playing in D1 this year. He decided to stay with D2.
There's the new rule you can only
play one, right?
Yeah. Okay, so they have some solid pieces, and Masai has always been historically a contending team. So I'm expecting them to be there just with the rest of the teams. And actually, Garbage opens up with them in week 1 for the first time in our franchise's history. So that should be interesting. All right, so pretender or contender, guys. All right, me and Asif have him as a contender, Imran as a pretender, and Ahmad is on the fence because Ahmad doesn't know him too well.
Wait, how many teams is Ahmad not to? I think this is every single one has been.
The thing is, Ahmad is providing the looks for the panel. Okay, so now on to the next.
Very antisocial.
On to the next team, Paranormal Activity. I don't know a lot of these guys. Paranormal Activity. They played before. I think under the name of Space Jam.
Oh, okay.
And I actually played some softball with a couple of these guys, but that doesn't tell me
how
good
that
they are.
one kid,
that doesn't tell me how good they are in the basketball region.
They're good at softball.
Really good at softball though. They have some. Actually, I don't know if they have some softball.
The guy that we know, the guy from softball.
Yeah.
What's his name?
But are they good at softball?
She's good at softball, so they're athletic, I'd say that. But I don't know. Do you guys remember the Space Jam team?
Yeah, those guys are pretty good.
Yeah, they're solid. So you know what? Let's just stay on the fence with these guys. Yeah, I think it was Amir. And then there's Ali Khan. Let's just throw out the names here.
Is Burhan on that team?
No. Oh, Burhan, yes.
Yeah, I think he's really good.
Okay. So I mean, if anything, we'll reassess this team once we see him a little more. So pretender, contender. I think I'm gonna say.
Actually, you know what? Yeah.
With 2 people on the fence, 2 people pretender. All right, on to the next team, guys.
Next team is Elite, which is a team made up by one of our panel members, Imran Naki. Taking a player from was it Ravaj and Irfan, who's a really improved player.
Sold out. The font sold out.
Irfan, we're coming for you.
But a really big key loss to this team is Hamza Mela. I guess dislocated his ankle 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's a really big blow for this team. This team, you know, mostly comprised of guards, and Zayn Hyder making his return. Really feisty guard. You never want to play against this guy because he just physically like hurts you. I think Rose, you would know, right?
He's never hurt me. I mean, he's
Just emotionally.
just emotionally. I've asked him to hang out a few times. He never returned my phone calls.
And Yash making his MBL debut.
No, Yash has been playing with for several seasons.
No, actually, he just comes dressed up to the games.
In jerseys.
Jerseys, yeah. I think he like coaches
No,
Narcima's team.
he's
But he doesn't. He
part
didn't
of
really play this.
he wasn't on the roster for previous.
But this year he's making his NBL debut, so I mean he's a solid player.
Thing is, Yash needed to get picked up for a while. He's a really solid player.
I owed it to him too.
Yeah, like I was surprised a lot of people didn't snatch him up earlier. Like he's gonna do what's right for the team. He'll contribute. So I think that was a huge pickup for him.
He has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
I'm sure the rubber band was his glasses.
I think he started to play without him.
Oh, really?
I think
he's
contacts?
playing without him.
He's
He's
got
playing 2
contacts,
games
right?
in ABA. He's actually, you know, he's really
No,
good.
he's good. He was like, he's up Narcima all the time. But poor guy's glasses always come off.
He's the Zima stopper.
Yeah, Zima, you heard it here first.
Said
But yeah, anyways, without Hamza Mela, I mean, this team kind of too small. I know Zayn could play kind of big, but other than that, you know, this is
The Johnson anything?
We're in the transition of like doing injury replacement right now, so I can't disclose that yet.
Wait, no, John.
John McDougan.
Yeah, we're gonna be replacing Hamza.
Oh,
Yeah. Regarding
Wait, what does that have to do with John?
he's not on the roster.
Oh, I thought he was already on your team.
No, he was not on the team.
Yeah.
So-
They wouldn't allow Hamza and John to play.
Oh, okay.
So-
you said Evan is not on your team no more?
We'll have to find out. Yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
can't
anyways,
say
I mean,
anything yet.
knowing Imran, you know, he always finds hidden gems that, you know, none of the league knows about, so I'm sure he's going to be a really great player, so keep an eye on him.
There's a guy named Paul Rick that might be joining this.
No, he got vetoed. I tried. Sorry, Rick.
Okay, so regarding Elite, they're definitely a great team. Even without Hamza, I know Hamza's a big part of their team. He was their size. And I was actually there when Hamza injured his ankle, and it was not a pretty sight, man. Thankfully he didn't break anything or fracture anything, but I kid you not, his ankle was dangling the wrong way. So, and then, oh man, I just thinking about it, it's one of those gruesome injuries, like a Sean Livingston ACL
No, definitely.
tear.
It's really unfortunate because he was actually the one that put this team together. It wasn't me. So
Oh man.
this has been his dream team for a while. He actually wanted you guys on his team too. He thought we could combine our teams and stuff, but I feel really bad, so it's gonna suck. We'll do this for him though. Hopefully.
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate, especially when any player goes down with an injury. You know, I mean, of course he's a great player, and I'd want to compete against him, but we just wish him well to become a speedy recovery. But even without Hamza, Elite, their name is Elite for a reason. They have a lot of solid talent. Zayn Hyder, as Asif mentioned, Imran is one of the top point guards in the league, I feel. And combine that, I mean, they have extremely good guard play. I would put them up there with Primetime. You have Imran, Moose, and Irfan. 3 of the quickest guys in the league.
Yeah.
If not the quickest guys in the league. Yeah, the speed is off the charts now that I think about it. So that you can't teach speed, you know. Well, actually, you can train.
Take that back.
Take that back. But yeah, no, they're definitely a great team. And I have them as the number 2 overall team right now. Well, I guess I'd have to reassess them now that Hamza's gone. But even with the John McDougan, he gives them great solid size, and I would say he's a true center. And he can spread the floor a little bit too. And he's a great passer. I've played against him several times. He definitely finds open men, especially with the speed that they have. I see them doing a lot of damage. They're going to compete with finesse.
My way to pull John in is to tell him we're playing Tribe Week 1 because I know how badly he wants to go at them. So.
Alright, so pretender or contender, guys? Oh, okay, we have 3 contenders and 1 pretender. Asif, you want to talk about that? Pretender? And leaving personal bias out of it.
No personal bias. I just think offensively, you have moves, but teams figure them out. Playing that rounded defense, having a bunch of space, let him do whatever he wants. And Irfan, I think he's gonna suffer drastically, leaving the team Ravaj.
Yeah.
That was his opportunity.
He's going through knee problems too right now.
Yeah, actually knee problems too. But his opportunity, he got it at Ravaj, and I don't think another team could fit.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to make some adjustments. I mean, Irfan, he's one of our great friends. Of course, I want to see him do well. And he's on a great team, but he's going to have to make adjustments from his game to complement Imran and Moose and the other players. So it's not going to be the same, and he understands that. But that's you have to make sacrifices to be a good player and to be on a good team.
Going for the James Harden Award.
Well, anyways,
Exactly.
Besides Imran and Irfan, I see no one else, being able to shoot, the perimeter shot,
Especially the
outside three ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this team's gonna be kind of it's gonna be hard for them to score.
It's gonna be hit or miss. That's what I told myself.
Besides the fast break, it'll be hard for them to score.
Okay.
So.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's go to the next team.
Who's that? Me?
Yeah.
Khandan.
Yeah, you're.
Alright. So my next team is Khandan. Khandan's been in the league for a really, really long time. I see a lot of their players, really experienced players on this list. I think they'll do well, but at the same time, they do kind of lack a go-to guy offensively. I think Shahzad Khan would have been a good go-to option a few years ago, but I think his game has declined quite a bit. Farhad Zawanda, again, he's not an offensive-minded player. He's more defensive, and he looks for other players. So, with that being said, they got a good big man in Munir. Played with some other team last year. I don't know what their team name was.
With Arab Zak.
Yeah, they got the Razak, another good defender. He's the Moreau stopper.
Is that
Oh my
Pawan?
Wait, they have Pawan?
They got
Is that
Pawan
Pawan?
Deep.
P Murder.
Wait, Pawan?
Yeah,
P
Pawan.
Murder. P Murder, Merlin? Yeah, P Murder.
So this team they got physical players, but offensively Donald and Shahzad are the only two guys I see putting up points, so it's not going to be enough in high-scoring games, especially D2. You see a lot of high totals, so I don't see this team scoring more than 40 a game at the max.
Let's go back a little bit to Darik's nickname.
Stopper?
The Mero Stopper? Is he the Mero Stopper or the Zico Stopper?
I think he's labeled himself as the Moreau stopper.
Oh, really?
Actually, a lot of people have been calling him the Moreau stopper.
For the record, T-Rock was trying to D me up in a game with 21, and I lit him up, okay?
I'm just trying to start up some fun.
No problem. T-Rock, I'm coming for you.
I heard Pawan is talking shit on you too.
I gotta bleep that out.
Well, you can bleep this.
No, Khandan is a good team. They have shooters. The thing is, they have good defensive guys too.
I see a defensive team.
Yeah, they're a defensive team.
This Faizan, the other boy guy, if it's the same guy I'm thinking about, he can play, man.
Yeah.
He's a little out of shape.
And they picked up Farhad. Farhad's the type of guy that can fill up the stat sheet, and he can set up for them, create. I think they have a deep team actually.
Yeah, they do.
All right, so pretender or contender, guys. We have 4 pretenders. You know what? I think they have the best chance of. Even though I have them as a pretender, they have the best chance, I think, of proving us wrong. Because if they can develop that chemistry and put it together, I think they'll definitely do some damage. All right, on to the next team. We have Team Kaboom. They're the last team that we have left. This is Kuram Ejaz's, aka Fahim Dayala's son, team combined with Omer Sheikh and Ozer Sheikh. Ozer Molvi.
They got like 4 giants on that team.
They don't want the dictator to control them anymore. They their own team.
So they have this guy Wes. Junaid Zaveri is making his return from the Revenge to the Camp Revenge.
They got Wes Wells.
Wes Wells. I don't know too much about him.
This guy is probably going to be candidate for Rookie of the Year. I don't know. I've never seen him play, but according to Kuram, he's been trying to add him to Tufan in the past seasons as one of the primary guys. So this guy's got to be good. And knowing Kuram, he's trying to copy me and recruit players like that. So Wes Wells is definitely top.
Kuram's not gonna play, right? Because
I'm not sure what his status with his knee injury is. Yeah, he's been out for a few weeks now. Does anybody know his update on his injury?
Sure, I just see statuses of his knee all the time.
Okay. But yeah, but you know, one player that always flies under the radar, and he's actually a past most improved player, Omer Sheikh.
Yeah,
He's done a lot of damage.
I don't think Omer's playing with them though.
Oh, he's not?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's terrible. Then maybe we can still pick him up.
No, I'm pretty
Actually,
sure he's not.
Wait, was there a shake on this team or no?
Ozer Sheikh is.
Yeah, Ozer's on that team.
And Ozer Mulvey.
Was there a shake he was one on your team?
He was on our
right?
team. Solid
Yeah, I
guy.
thought, yeah,
Solid.
solid. Man.
Yeah, solid. And Ozer Mulvey.
I heard he torched my brother last year. Is that true?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
12 points or something.
He's the youngest of the Mulvey brothers.
Probably the
He-
best, I would say.
He has probably the most potential.
Yeah.
He's just tall. He's tall. He's taller than everybody
Still
else.
growing too.
And he's a young kid. He's still really raw.
Yeah.
Right. If he starts training with somebody and honing his skills, he can probably be one of the best players in MBL history.
It's gonna be a nightmare to drive on that team because
Yeah.
they got 3 guys that are gonna throw your stuff every time.
Yeah.
Wait, I just had a quick question away from this team. Do you think was there Mulvey's to win a championship before the other Mulvey brothers or what?
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I think Ittihad has a better chance.
Right now, this season, Ittihad looks
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, so I would say no.
But I mean, Zahid Mulvey and Singer Mulvey, I've talked to their teams. They're always the cancer of their team for some reason. I don't know, that's
Hey,
the talk.
the thing is, they're still on the roster as of right now, so.
And that's because they're tied into a long-term contract.
You know, and that's to their benefit, though. But yeah, so let's go pretender or contender for a couple. 4 pretenders all around. So, we'll see how this team develops, and we'll see what this West guy is all about, and we'll make the decision from there. All right, with that, we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be back. And welcome back to Inside the MBL. Our next segment, we're basically going to do our preseason picks for the end of the year awards. And jumping right into it, we're going to go, let's first discuss the Sportsman of the Year award. Just a roundtable discussion. There's several candidates. We have different names out there. We'll give you each our individual pick. So Imran, why don't you start us off? Who do you have for Sportsman of the
For
Year?
my sportsmanship award of the year, I got Omar Ashraf again.
Omar Ashraf of Public Enemy.
Definitely.
Ahmad, who do you have?
My vote's going for Asif Qureshi. He's been the furthest away from this category for quite a while. But I'm going to tell you, he's going to win it. You know why? Because he's going to host dinners, MBL dinners. He's going to stay after the game, pick up, sweep the floors. He's going to get there an hour early, bring me Gatorade.
He's going to keep
warm
stats
me-
for
warm me
every hour.
up, Right? And if he does those things, he'll win Sportsman of the Year.
I've actually was thinking about changing my name to Meta Q Piece. But it's in the works. My mom's not too fond of it, so.
Yeah. Plus the jersey sale, you're in the contract.
My Sportsman of the Year award, Amar Ashraf is always in the running for that, but I'm actually going to go in a different direction. Well, actually not too much of a different direction. Hamza Ashraf. He's always been there to help with stat keeping. I'm surprised he hasn't been considered before. Especially, as we all know, stat keeping is a huge pain, and sometimes teams don't show up. But Hamza, he's always there. Actually, I've been keeping track of who does stat keeping. He's always one of the guys that always steps in and helps out with stat keeping. And he's just an all-around nice guy that talks to everybody on the different teams. So I think he's definitely my pick right now for Sportsmanship of the Year.
My sportsmanship award candidates go to actually the whole Usher family. Can we just give the whole sportsmanship award to them? Like they said, they're all really humble guys. During a physical game, if someone falls on the floor, I've seen them, pick up the players on the opposite teams.
That's usually because Omer Ashraf's the one that makes the other guy fall to the ground.
But no, really humble guys. I love these guys. Everyone probably loves them in the league too. So
Yeah, I know that.
hopefully, these guys, one of these guys get it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's just a reflection on the Ashraf's parents. They all raised them really well, so I think the Ashraf family is always up for the running for that. All right, so let's go on to Most Improved award. Imran, who do you have right now for Most Improved?
I had Ali Qureshi. I
And-
see him excelling in that system a lot.
So you think? But my thing is, I think Ali Qureshi is the capable player. He was the leading scorer of Arsenal. So why do you think? I mean, I guess.
I mean, I just feel like he's had to, kind of worry too much about his playing time every season that comes around. And I know that talking to him, that's his primary concern always as well. Playing ABA with him, playing time is always an issue. So I don't think that outside of Arsenal season, he's never gotten the opportunity to really play his game. And he feels comfortable playing alongside these guys. That's why he wanted to get him on so bad. So it just seemed to really well.
Okay. What do you have for most of you?
I had Ali Persia as well, just because he's going to get the ball a lot more. That was one of the deals if I signed with the team. But no, I think he's going to really improve. He's been playing really confident and pick up ball, shooting well, driving well. And here he is.
Right now.
Can we put on a conference call?
So we put him on speaker.
Link it up.
Hello? What's up?
We have a call-in onto the MBL show. Ali Qureshi, you are now on the recording. Ali, we're actually currently discussing all the season awards. I don't know how we can get you in. What are your thoughts of the season, though?
I can't hear you guys.
Alright, how far are you? How far are you?
You ruined it.
What?
Hey, this could have been.
As far as my award for most improved, I'm keeping it in the Qureshi family. I'm actually saying Asif Qureshi. I think he's always been considered a good defender. And that's what he's been labeled as far as a player for himself. But nobody really knows about his offensive abilities. I think he had one game last season where he kind of broke out and he scored 17 points in the first half. And that showed glimpses and signs of it, his potential. But I think with an increased opportunity on Garbage, he's going to have a dramatic increase in his numbers, and he definitely should be I think he's going to have most improved caliber type of season. AQ, who's your?
My most improved candidate is also in the Qureshi family. Not myself, but actually my brother, Ali Qureshi. There's an argument that when you play in his Arsenal season, he was the leading scorer and whatnot. But if you guys look at the team, Team Arsenal, I mean, there's no one else to mention on that team.
Besides Ahmed Jawad.
So yeah, besides. Okay, yeah, no one else, like I said. So yeah, he was, he had to score, I guess you could see that there's a lot of shot attempts by him too. But my brother, he is a capable scorer. Pick up ball, always shooting the ball. He's always relaxed, just watching away. But the thing is, in MBL games, I think he gets kind of scared away. He has a lot. I think almost everyone else on the team is better than him, so he kind of shies away from it. But I mean, I think he should score more.
Yeah.
And I'm sure.
But the question is, will he get that opportunity to showcase that on a deep Too Nice team?
I think so because Too Nice. I came from Too Nice to play with them last season. There are a bunch of guys that are not, they're not selfish. You have Mustafa, Diego, all those guys. Ahmad always looking to pass first rather than score for themselves, which could be good and bad things. But I think Ali's gonna have a breakout season this year.
Okay, sounds good. So I guess our sportsman of the year has kept it in the Ashraf family. Our most improved has kept it in the Qureshi family. Let's see if we can get the monkeys in here somehow. Okay, so I don't think the monkeys are getting defensive anytime soon.
I think our time has passed.
So let's go to Rookie of the Year. Imran, who's your Rookie of the Year pick?
I had someone written down here, but I just remembered that ICH has probably the best rookie coming in that I know of. I don't know his name exactly, so I don't want to throw anyone's name out there, but everyone's going to get a taste of it week one. This guy can flat out play. He's a guard. His skill set's ridiculous. He can do things that I've never seen most guards do in MBL, not even D1 guards. So this guy can play. He's going to carry that team really far. Honestly, with him, I see them as that's the next thing that they needed to get to the championship. So.
Do you have an idea of his name?
I wanted to say it was that Jed guy, but I might not be. Might be someone else. Because they have a Johnny or something like that too. This guy, what's his name? Jed.
So there you go. We have an unknown candidate.
Yeah, it's unknown, but
Tommy, Jed, Jamal.
I'll be able to tell you after week one.
Okay. So the guy from IC, Jamal, who do you have for your Rookie of the Year?
I had Jamal Nawaz. Jamal's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a while, and he could ball, and I'm sure he's gonna make an impact on the team. I don't know if there's many. He's on out with Cam City.
Cam City, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be their go-to guy. So really good difference.
Okay. As far as Rookie of the Year, I was considering between Garbage's Carlos Valadez He has a good skill set, very similar to an Ahmad Mahmoud. He's kind of an all-around player, so I think he's going to be in the consideration as when the season comes to a close. But I think Jamal Nawaz is going to take it, so I'm going to go with Jamal as well. He's a solid player. I'm surprised he hasn't played in MBL before, so he should make an impact onto Pam City, especially Pam City is going to rely on him heavily. So his numbers should be up there with, with some of the best players in the league. So I look to see Jamal Nawaz win it. How about you, Oscar?
I have someone different than you guys picked. I have Ibrahim Elda. I believe he's on Ubuntu, which is Narsima's team. This kid, he could really play, really a good hustle player. He can score, but he looks to defend and get every single rebound.
Is it the Garden Grove player?
The Garden Grove, yeah. He's shorter, about 5'10", but I think he'll be one of the lead rebounders in the league because he wants the ball. He's out there trying to physically dominate everyone else. He doesn't play abusive, but he knows how to use his physicality in the right way. And I think he'll be a force to be reckoned with.
All right, on to Defensive Player of the Year. Imran, who do you have?
Alright, so for Defensive MVP, I have Kamil Abdiali from Ittihad. This guy can flat out play his position really well, and he can lock down a lot of players. He's really experienced, and so Kamil, I think he's got my Defensive MVP vote. He's just a lockdown defender. So I think Master Yoda agrees.
All right, Ahmad, who do you have for Defensive Player?
I have Faraz Malik. Defense.
Faraz Malik defense?
No. I have Rahman. Rahman plays big. There's not many big people in D2. I think he'll make an impact on at least defense. That's my pick.
As far as my defensive pick, I have Faraz Ahmed. I think he's actually really dedicated himself onto the defensive end. I know he really focuses on trying to capture that shot blocking, all-time career leader dignification. So he's really going to look to swat every shot that comes into the paint. So I'm expecting him to have really big defensive numbers this season. So I think he's my preseason pick to be Defensive Player of the Year. Faraz Ahmed of Tribe, that is.
My defensive candidate is, if not Kamel, I believe it'll be Zain Hyder. He's also from Team Elite, which is Imran's team. This guy, no one likes to play against him, he can man you up, he'll strip the ball, plays really physical. And he's one of the guys that you would love to have on your team, but you to play against because his defense is just that good. So, my candidate is Zain Hyder.
All right. Now let's go on to the prestigious MVP award. Imran, who do you have for MVP at the end of the year when it's all said and done?
I have Kia DB. I don't know who won it last season. Do you know?
Diego won it.
Diego won it. So I think that if Diego hadn't gone to the finals, I think Kia probably would have. Actually, not thinking about different season. Thinking about winter, but nonetheless, Kia's an all-star player. This guy racks up the stat sheet like in points, steals, assists. He can do everything, and especially at his position, because he's a smaller guy. He's about 5'10", 5'9". He can really play, out of his position really well too. Like he's really physical. I see him diving on the ground for loose balls and all types of stuff, and he can carry his team. And those are the things that MVP candidates should be able to do to be a leader. So it's definitely my pick.
Okay, Ahmad, who do you have for MVP?
For MVP, I have Faraz Malik. Faraz has been playing really well lately, and I think he's already really comfortable with his team. Not that he wasn't comfortable with us, but I feel like he knows exactly what his role is, and if not, I think he is the main guy in offense.
Yeah.
Like the first choice, and I think he's really going to excel.
And I think that's a good point, especially he's going to have a bigger role with them. Because with Ravaj, we had you and me on the team. That might have taken away from his offensive game, but he can score with the best of them. So yeah, that definitely might be it. As far as my MVP pick, I'm going with the repeat winner, Diego. I think a lot of consideration for MVP is given to the best team and the best player on that team. I think Diego, I mean, with Too Nice, I have them as my preseason champion. So, you know, I think with their record that they're going to have at the end of the season, and with Diego, what he's capable of, and especially with new weapons such as Ahmad on the team, he's definitely going to put up the same numbers, and I don't see him dropping off anytime soon. So he's my pick for MVP. Asif?
So yeah, my MVP candidate is also Diego Delgado. I picked him because I recently just left the team. I was his teammate. And also, one thing you guys should know that Diego, this is probably the lowest he's been since, since his high school years. So, that tells you a lot. He's a really phenomenal player.
What do you mean lowest?
Like
skill-wise?
Skill-wise, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think, he could be a lot better. He barely plays basketball during the week. He also works with me too, so we're always busy at work. But recently he just got a gym pass, so he's in the gym now.
Look
so,
at him.
Look for him to regain his regain his speed and.
When you say regain his speed, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, that will obviously put him over the top in the Kansas City.
Sounds good. And let's just throw out our preseason championship picks. Who do you think's gonna hold up the trophy at the end of the year? Imran, who do you have?
I have it done.
Ittihad? Ahmad?
Come back here.
What's it called? It's not on any paper. This is an impromptu question. I have Too Nice winning it all. I just think they're really talented. Skill set that they have. I have Too Nice. How about you, Asif?
As much as I would hate to say this, I would probably say Tribe. Had some bad blood, but they're good
Hey,
team.
you gotta give respect where it's deserved, though. So Ahmad, did you, after further consideration?
No, I'll probably say, man, to be honest, I don't know. There's so many good teams. I wouldn't, I know I can see Abdi down there, I can see you guys in there, I can see, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I see the Hot in the championship. And did you downvote him anyways?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say.
Once again, Ahmad is on the fence. Another question. Alright, I just wanted to thank all of our viewers for watching the first edition of the Inside the MBL show. I hope you enjoyed all the content, and it was all for fun. Nothing was meant to be serious. It's just for entertainment purposes only. On behalf of Imran, Ahmad, Asif Qureshi, and myself, thank you for joining us.